Manny Pacquiao recently revealed that he truly believed Errol Spence since the car accident. He has lost a step. Manny Pacquiao told The Athletic Errol Spence looked slow his last fight, in which he believes Keith Thurman is even faster than Errol Spence. Therefore, Manny Pacquiao making these type of statements, it don't surprise me at all, because even a couple years ago, when Errol Spence was the boogeyman on the horizon, Manny Pacquiao stated that the key to beating Errol Spence is speed. So none of Pacquiao's recent statements are shocking to me. However, they are interesting, to say the least. I told you guys after the Danny Garcia fight, I truly believe Errol Spence wasn't 100% that night. However, maybe his next fight he will be. But I wouldn't call him slow, not in a million years. But I'm going to emphasize on that and talk about that in a little bit. In the meantime, I do want to touch on what Manny Pacquiao said about his next fight, which he stated that he's mostly interested in fighting Conor McGregor next because he want to experience fighting an MMA fighter. Now, if we are being honest, the reason does not sound too convincing to me, because it's not like he's going to fight Conor McGregor in the UFC. He's fighting Conor McGregor in the boxing ring. Now, me personally, I would like to see the fight for multiple reasons. If he's actually thinking about fighting Errol Spence, he's going to definitely need a tune-up fight and a fight to shake off the ring rust. I think it's good for Manny Pacquiao's career. I think it's good for his pocket and his people, because we all know Pacquiao. He's going to donate some of that money for sure. However, I can't wait to hear old media and see how they're going to actually twist the narrative this time around. Are they going to keep the same energy they had for Floyd Mayweather when he fought Conor McGregor? Or are they going to give Manny Pacquiao the benefit of the doubt? Because unlike Floyd, he's not on that coincidental list where you damn if you do, damn if you don't. However, we know what time it is. Pacquiao is on that hope list where if you do or you don't, you're going to get the credit either way. I'll never forget when Floyd Mayweather announced fighting Conor McGregor, old media flipped the boxing world upside down. They made it seem like Floyd Mayweather was about to fight Bob Arum or even Larry Merchant. I kid you not. So many fighters / promoters wanted to boycott the fight between Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. They said Floyd Mayweather was destroying the sport of boxing, when in fact he was building the sport of boxing, because that fight, hate it or love it, brought a lot of attention to the sport of boxing. It brought a lot of new fans to the sport of boxing. I mean, people lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor is the second biggest pay-per-view fight of all time in any sport, not just in boxing. The first one is Floyd Mayweather versus Pacquiao. That did around 5.7 million on pay-per-view. Conor McGregor versus Floyd did around 5.1 million on pay-per-view worldwide. So, that being said, let all of that sink in. All the fighters, including the promoters, they went from criticizing Floyd Mayweather for fighting Conor McGregor, from Manny Pacquiao himself, to Canelo Alvarez, to Oscar De La Hoya, Hopkins, Bob Arum, and the list goes on and on and on. But once the world found out that Floyd Mayweather made around 300 million against Conor McGregor, all of a sudden, Bob Arum want to put Terrence Crawford in there with Conor McGregor. Canelo Alvarez want to fight Conor McGregor. Oscar De La Hoya want to come out of retirement and fight Conor McGregor. And even Manny Pacquiao is now actually fighting Conor McGregor. Now, how ironic is that? That's why you got to be careful with what you say. Because what goes around will always come back around. Pacquiao went from criticizing Floyd to actually not just following, but literally copy and paste Floyd Mayweather GreenPrint. We're not even going to call it the blueprint because it's obviously the GreenPrint to get in money. Now, if you compare Floyd Mayweather then to Manny Pacquiao now, Floyd Mayweather was actually retired. On the other hand, Manny Pacquiao is still active. Matter of fact, he's a champion, a world champion that just beat an undefeated Keith Thurman not too long ago. Therefore, as far as I know, Manny Pacquiao should receive way more criticism than Floyd Mayweather did. But the truth is, this is further proof when it comes to the double standards that we're dealing with in the sport of boxing. The fact that Floyd Mayweather is on the coincidental list, there is no coincidence that he get mistreated every single time. And it's also not a coincidence that Pacquiao, who's on the hope list, gets the benefit of the doubt every single time. Nevertheless, even though Pacquiao is keeping the belt hostage, the WBA belt hostage, while fighting an MMA fighter who's 0-1, old media is not going to criticize Pacquiao, and they will find a way to justify it some way, somehow. Don't get me wrong, though. Pacquiao will get criticized a little bit by old media, but nowhere near how Floyd Mayweather got criticized when he wasn't even a champion. Me, on the other hand, when it comes to new media, I actually want to see the fight because just like I told you guys with Floyd, both of these guys earned it. I have no problem with Manny Pacquiao making money. He earned his place in the sport of boxing. Plus, I think it will be a great tune-up to shake off the ring rust in order to maybe fight an Errol Spence or a Terrence Crawford. I tend to lean more toward Errol Spence because Pacquiao, he truly believed Errol Spence is slow, in which Errol Spence took little to no time to respond to Pac-Man. He said nobody care about none of that. In other words, Errol Spence just want to fight. If Pacquiao feels like Errol Spence is slow, well, that's good. Fight Errol Spence then. That's how the truth feels. Furthermore, that's no secret. Out of the two, one fighter want the fight at all cost, which is Errol Spence. Manny Pacquiao, on the other hand, I can't really gauge him. I don't know if he really want the fight or if he don't. If he actually sees something that's giving him enough confidence to fight Errol Spence, or if he's just using Errol Spence's name to maybe promote the Conor McGregor fight and future bouts. I really don't know. So only time will tell. But as far as Errol Spence being slow against Danny Garcia, you could say Errol Spence did not look like 100%. But to say he was slow, that's an overstatement. Because Errol Spence is anything but slow. Not with his thinking, not with his hands, not with his body positioning, which that's what matter. See, Errol Spence is one of them unique fighters that knows how to vary his offense and the speed of his hands, which is extremely important. See, a lot of fighters that have tremendous hand speed, they tend to throw every single punch with the same hand speed, with the same velocity. That leaves them vulnerable to get countered. Gary Russell versus Lomachenko is a perfect example. But Errol Spence, he will vary his offense along with the speed of his punches, which for the upcoming fighters, they have to take notes when it comes to that. Therefore, as far as what Pacquiao had to say, speed is not everything in the sport of boxing. There's no doubt about it. Pacquiao, at his age today, is probably faster than Errol Spence. I'm not going to argue with that. But what I will say, though, there's different ways to nullify speed. Timing nullifies speed. Controlling range also nullifies speed, the way Errol Spence did with Mikey Garcia. Plus, Errol Spence always has another gear to go to, which is dogging it out, fighting like a dog. And we already know Manny Pacquiao is not comfortable in the inside. Even though he beat Jeff Horn in my eyes, even Jeff Horn displayed that against Pac-Man. That being said, drop y'all comments below. What's y'all take on what Manny Pacquiao had to say about Errol Spence? Do you guys agree or disagree? Subscribe below if you're trying to get smarter by the minute. If you're trying to get dumb about a second, don't, and listen to these decafs. The dumb, casual ass fans that don't know shit about boxing. Word to Roger Mayweather. May he rest in peace, inshallah. Shout out to my broski, my Akhi Dante, for being the entrepreneur of new media that I'm a part of. And if you a casual fan and you want to be a hardcore, all you have to do is click on the notification bell to get notified every time I post or go live on Split Decision. It's a boxing debate / talk show, mixed, master, engineered, produced by yours truly, Akhi, the past, present, and future undisputed pound for pound #1 when it comes to debating. I got these decafs shook. They're scared to look every time Akhi's on TV because the truth is always bad news. For these decafs, the truth is their kryptonite. 3 things that will always come out: the sun, the moon, and the truth. It might take a day, it might take a year, but eventually the truth will always come out. And that's exactly what you get every single time on Akhi TV. Is nothing but the whole absolute truth. Akhi always put it together like puzzle every single time. The truth is undefeated. That's why Akhi is undefeated. Subscribe, click on the notification bell, and to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace, and we out here.